here we go. We are back on the grind. So this week, right, we are back onto Stepdeck loads. We stopped the Amazon because the guy stopped calling us. So we had to pick up our Stepdeck and get back on the grind. Anyway, our first load was actually 2 day cabs. Day cabs that I had no idea how to load. 2 of them, that is. And then our second load was a pretty nice load of coming back to Vegas. And then our third load was also another day cab, which we will talk about later in the video. And then our last load for the week is going to be what we have on right now. So let's talk about them. Okay, so first of all, I do want to apologize. We are climbing, by the way. We are approximately about 26,000 pounds on the deck, and we have a window down, so we're climbing. This is that long climb going into Las Vegas from Southern California. We're on the I-15. Anyway, so let's talk about where we've been, right? Oh, I do want to apologize, by the way. If it gets loud, I got the mic closer to me, but I'm trying to make sure I don't scream too loud into it. But anyway, I do want to apologize for not having any videos whatsoever, okay? I've been busy, man. We're trying to figure out how to do this thing, how to be at the house and still make money at the same time, okay? And if that means that we have to live on the load board, that's what it's got to be. But you know what I'm happy about is that for the most part here this week, okay, during the Amazon, we were home every other day. So it was like go out, sleep the night over in Stockton, and then come home, sleep the night at the house, and then spend the whole day at the house and sleep the next day after spending that whole day, and then leave again for Amazon the next morning. So I like that schedule a lot. I wish it could continue, but he's not calling us anymore. So we are here. We are back on this thing. Now on this part right here, or as far as Stepdeck, doing it on our own on the load board, we went from San Diego, or from Las Vegas to San Diego, and then we spent the night in San Diego, went back home, spent the night at home, and then went out again, and then spent 2 nights away from home. Now we're coming back home, okay? So that's how the schedule went, and I'm loving that schedule. You know why? Because I'm so close at the house, man, so close at the house. So let's talk about where we've been this week, right? So this week, our very first load, we traveled from Las Vegas to San Diego, and then from San Diego, we did head into Salome, Arizona. From Salome, Arizona, we picked up a load going into Las Vegas. From Las Vegas, we took another day cab into San Diego, and then from San Diego, we went and did head into Wilmington, and now from Wilmington, we picked up a load, and then it's actually a full load, and then we moved that load all the way to the forward position, and then put another pickup truck coming through Ontario, which was amazing because it's on the way already, and we are going to drop all of this into Salt Lake. Numbers. We grossed a total of $6,850. We ran a total of 2,057 miles. What are they doing over here? Why is there a guy running across the highway? Are you kidding me, Amazon? My goodness, man. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. I guess that crap is that important, huh? Wow. These dudes, man. What is wrong? I don't know what it is. Boy, they could have stopped right there. There was an exit right there. They could have met right there. But no, they wanted to do man, I tell you what. We're not even going to stress about that. Anyway, so let's talk about numbers. So we grossed a total of $6,850. And then we ran a total of all miles of 2,057. Out of that, we deadhead 351 miles, and with all miles we made $3.33 on all miles and $4.01 on loaded miles. We averaged a 6.4 mpg. We're not doing so good on mpg this time around because look at this, we're about to climb. We climbed this so many times this week already. Anyway, out of that, we use a total of 321 gallons in fuel, and we average, actually we only fuel in one place. It's at the Maverick, so we fueled at 343. That's it. It's always 343. So 343, and then when you multiply 321 to 343, that's gonna give you a total of $1,102. Y'all ready for this? The most important part. We utilize 16% in fuel from the gross. Man, even though we're not doing so well, MPG wise, we still did so good this week. Well, the reason we did so good is just like, we're going to Salt Lake, right? We know the odds of us deadheading back home is very, very high. So hopefully we find something coming out of Salt Lake. Anyway, but we are 16%. 16%. We're staying steady under 20%, and I love seeing that, man, because those are amazing numbers. That's how you survive in this freaking crazy fluctuations of rates that we have going on right now, you know? So that's why I'm so happy and psyched about that, you know? That's amazing, man. 16%. Imagine if we were doing better in fuel, but you know what I mean? That's Monday night quarterbacking, right? And just like that, we got through the hill. So 16%, man, I can't get over that. Like, really, 6,800 in this region. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that we started the week on Tuesday afternoon. Here it is. We're gonna be done with this load Monday morning, right? So Tuesday afternoon to Monday morning, I'd say that's about 6 days, right? So 6 days, 68.50. That's over $1,000 a day. Hey, we're still doing okay, you know. A lot of time, and we didn't spend that much time on the road. That's why I'm so happy about it, you know. I'm so psyched about, you know, the results, because we hardly ever spend any time on the road. You know, the only time that we did spend time on the road is either sleeping or being at the house. You know what I mean? So I love that. So anyway, so let's talk about some of these loads, right? So the first load, boy, I tell you, that was an adventure. So the first load, I actually had like 2-day cabs, right? I see them all the time being hauled. Look at this guy. He's like, what? Just right on my tail, man. Just right on my tail. It's so ridiculous. These people don't think about, like, you know, what happens if there was an emergency in front of me. Just right on my tail. Amazon, man, I tell you. Amazon, there are some good Amazon drivers, but most of them are just, man, I tell you, dummies, you know? Anyway, so 2-day cabs, right? So we were picking those up at Richie Bros auction. And I was like, you know what, man, I told the broker I can do them. So they had them posted for 800 for two of them, right? For 800 each, okay? I said, man, I can do it, right? Let's go 850 each. I'll take both of them at the same time. You know, going to San Diego, that's a good load. Any load that you get coming out of Las Vegas going to San Diego, I mean, I guess it depends. Like if it's paying like really, really low, you know, it would be not so great. But anyway, any load coming out of San Diego is good, because of the fact that you don't got a lot of, from Las Vegas, you don't got a lot of loads coming out of Las Vegas. So That was $800 a piece, right? They had them posted. I said, okay, we will do them. I'll do them for $850 each, and I'll take both of them. He said, you sure you can take both of them? I said, yeah, man. Now, this knowing that I've seen them, I've seen it done. Okay, so when we got to the location, well, one thing that it was partly my fault, and I would say partly of the broker's fault as well. You know, I don't think it's more of the broker. I think it's more of, not having clear enough description. Number one, the problem with that is that the Coronado that we picked up from Richard Bros is actually double frame. It's got it's a 3-axle truck, right? Or 4-axle truck with a freaking double frame. So that thing was heavy, man. I bet you that thing probably weighs around 26,000, right? So if you get the other day cab, let's say that weighs 18,000, that's pretty close to borderline to what we can haul, and they had them, see, the way they had them listed, right? Broker sent me pictures, okay? He sent me pictures of 2 regular day cabs that, it's not a 122 SD, right? So it's a lot shorter, what he sent me. And then the other one, it's just a sample pictures, what he sent me, right? So anyway, he sent me those, so I was like, okay, this should be easy, right? Now, when we got there, that Coronado made it difficult, number one. Number two is that it's double frame and it's 3rd axle, so it's a little bit heavier. Number 3 is that when I was trying to back in that, either one of them, I tried to back it in on the top deck, right? I put the ramps down, I tried to back it in on the top deck, it would not go up there. I was like, oh man, at first I tried the Columbia, right? And it would not go up. I was like, it just kept on spinning. We put lockers on, nothing. Just kept on spinning, right? I mean, it's not full lockers, that's why. So anyway, I was like, okay, let me go get the 122. I might be able to bring it up there because it should have full lockers because, I mean, it's got a freaking pusher axle, right? So I was like, okay, let me do that. And then freaking, I did that and it still would not. It's not a full locker. So when I tried that, man, I got there around 3 p.m. and I tried, man. I tried. It's just, and you're talking about 114 degrees outside. And I'm over here sweating my ass off doing all of this, right? And 5 o'clock or 4:30, they close down over there. And when they close over there, Richie Bros, they are closed. Trust me. So I tried, man, and then I communicated it with the broker, and he was like, man, you think we can get a tow truck and then just pull it up there? I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a good idea, and then we even tried asking the Richard Bros with a forklift, maybe, just give it a little guide up there, but they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't touch it, It's, policy. I get that. But it was too late for the tow truck. So here's what we decided. I told the broker, hey, listen, let's do this, man. Because since it's partly my fault, and I'm a man of my word, so here's what I'm willing to do for you. Well, just keep it on the same rate, because I told you I can do it, and now I can't do it, so I don't want you to have a bad taste, you know what I mean, of what I'm able to do, Well, let's resolve this and then try to make it happen, here's what I told him. I told him I can take one and then get it to San Diego tonight or tomorrow, unload it first thing in the morning, and then give me 1 day to try to get back to Las Vegas, pick up the other one, and we'll just do it all in the same rate, man. I didn't really want to do that, but I felt like it was right for me to do that, And he was like, okay, man, that works, He was happy with it, and, I'm not really that happy with it, but it's what we got to do. You know what I mean? We have to, I made a mistake, and I know, like, I could have probably nitpicked that and be like, man, you didn't send me the proper pictures, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, but that's I know I made the mistake, and that's you know, I'm very upfront and honest about that. You know what I mean? So, um, uh, side note, I don't know how they bring those up there. Okay, I've seen them with, you know, tandem axle up there. So maybe they pull them up, or maybe those particular ones have full lockers. I think if you got a full locker, a solid locker, you know, on all axles, they will all lock up. It would climb up there, you know, or maybe lift one of the axles up and then it'll climb up there. But uh, it wouldn't if you don't have it. If it's just like an independent locker, you know, it won't climb up there. I tried, trust me. Unless I can bring up that ramp a little bit more. You know what I mean? I think that would be the only way, you know. But anyway, so we did that, right? We come back and did all of this. Oh, by the way, while doing all of this, man, man, I'm getting too old for this crap. I tell you, I'm coming down on the bottom deck. Coming down from the bottom deck, my left knee buckled on me. You know, the first time I fell on the ground, I was like, oh man, and it's like freaking 114 degrees outside. Ain't nobody else around, you know. The yard is far away from the office, right? Or the loading dock is far away from the office over there at the Richard Bros. If I can't get back up, I would probably die right there. Because it's so freaking hot, you know. Anyway, I was able to get back up after a couple of minutes, and then I kept on, you know, I was able to walk around, and then I kept on working, and then second time, man, I freaking knee buckled again, man. I need to learn how to just slow down. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know. My knee's still a little bit sore right now, but I'm able to get around, you know. But this is what we got to do, you know what I mean? Is that it's pointless to try to, you know what I'm saying, just complain about it, or you know, cry about your situation or whatever, you know. Just freaking suck it up and drive on. That's what we used to say in the military all the time. Anyway, so we got that done, right? And when we dropped the first day cab in San Diego, got lucky, picked up this one load that's coming out of Salome, Arizona, right? And took it to Las Vegas, but we did have to deadhead 237 miles because for that. But at the same time, it was paying $5 and like 57 cents a mile for that, you know. We deadhead more than we actually loaded on that one. So we got that one unloaded the next morning, and then we pick up the other day cab, and then we dropped that one off on the Friday, and then here we are now on this load. This load, I was deciding between getting something going to Phoenix, Arizona, or getting something going to Las Vegas, or getting something going Northern California. And then I also saw this one load, which was showing 15K, right? They didn't have no length on there. It's showing 15K on the pounds, and it's going all the way to Salt Lake, paying $2,500. Here it is. It's already like 12 o'clock. I'm in San Diego, and this thing is picking up in Wilmington, California. So I was like, God, man, once again, we are running out of time. You know what I mean? So I was like, it's Friday. So I was like, all right, let's call it in. Not even negotiate. Let's just lock this in. I mean, I know it's already paying $350 a mile going to Salt Lake. I think it's not good enough. I think we should be around 28 going to Salt Lake, you know, because we're going to deadhead out of there more than likely, you know. And then I asked the broker, hey, man, can you add another 100 to pay for the fuel coming back? He said, yeah, no problem. But he had all kinds of excuses, you know, like, I mean, it's probably not an excuse. It's legitimate, but I had to get this thing locked up so we can freaking get under this load and get rolling, you know? So I was like, you know what, man, don't worry about it. Let's lock it in for 25. I'm on the way. So he sent all the paperwork while I'm on the way. Anyway, and then when I got there, I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute, man. Don't load it too far in the middle. Load it towards the front. So I started looking around the load board when while you know I was guiding this guy to freaking set it down, right? Here it is, it's 3 o'clock. We're looking at the load board, you know, and then I was like, I was putting out my chains. I was looking on the load board, and then boom, found that pickup truck, man. That pickup truck, I didn't even negotiate it because, like I said, we're just trying to roll, man. I think I could have gotten another $300 on top of all of these combined, but that's okay. Like I said, we're just trying to roll. So we found that pickup truck, and then here we are. We're rolling. How much per mile is this? Well, it's 740 miles into Salt Lake, right? They're both getting dropped off in Salt Lake area, by the way. 740 miles, and then the total on this load is 2,500 plus 1,100, so it's $3,600. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think that's over $5 a mile. So that's what propelled us into $3 and where we at? $3.33 a mile on all miles. Boy, I tell you, that's a good week, man. That's gonna be a good week. And on top of that, all of those loads I mentioned, that was a possibility I was gonna take coming from the Southern California area. They were gonna be over 35,000 pounds. You know, there was another one that I was considering and taking. I would have been 14 foot high because they were looking for low pros, right? They wouldn't even budge. You're looking for a low pro, so specific, man. And you're telling me, I mean, yeah, it was paying $4 a mile going into Sparks, Nevada, right? So it's a military vehicle. I don't know what kind of military vehicle it was, but they said it's gonna be 11 foot high. So we're gonna be 14 foot all the way, right? Or 14. Yeah, 14. You're legal in Nevada and California. You're legal up to 14 foot. Anyway, they would not even budge, man. It was paying $4 a mile. I mean, I know we're gonna be in a better market. That's why I was considering it. But you're looking for something so specific, like a low pro step deck, and sure enough, man, it disappeared out of the load board. You know, that's okay with me. You know what I mean? No regrets, you know. Anyway, we're still under 25,000 pounds, what we have on the deck right now. And we're gonna be making over $550 a mile, I believe, $530 a mile on this into Salt Lake. I can't do the math off the top of my head right now because we're driving and we're talking at the same time. So I can't multitask that well. Anyway, so that's where we are, man. That's the week, man. It's just, man, I tell you what, I am wore out. I worked physically hard this week, man, because I forgot to mention that every single one that went onto the deck I needed the ramps, either on both ends or just on one end. I tell you what, putting out the ramps over there in Vegas at freaking 114 degree temperature, or I mean, like, yeah, I did on that load coming from Saloma, Arizona to, boy, I tell you, that is, man, that will test your manhood. I tell you, that'll test your manhood. It was 110 degree outside, I believe it was. I unloaded around 9 o'clock. It was 100. I say about 110. And then the sun was beaming down, man. I was putting out the ramps, man, and then I was unloading them, you know. That Saloma, Arizona to Las Vegas, you know, that was all self-load and self-unload. That's why the rate was paying so good, you know. So, you know what, Dale? Even though we work hard, man, I'm still so happy. My back is sore, my freaking legs are sore, everything in my body is sore, but I am happy. You know why? I was home most of the time. You know what I mean? And you know why? I've been home for the past 2-3 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? It's just amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that, really. The Amazon load that we did, you know what I mean? We ran 3,000 miles in almost over $9,000, I believe, in gross. So, I mean, I can't remember exactly what the gross on that, but you know what I'm saying. That's over $3. That's $3. Let's just say $3 a mile, man, on all miles. You know, doing Amazon home every other night and spending the day, one day at least after you come home. You know, so I wish, like I said, I wish those Amazon would have continued because we would have left this trailer all the way down there and she would have sat there and rot, you know, collect dust. But unfortunately, you know, the guy stopped calling us. I imagine it's not either he found somebody cheaper or they're no longer, you know, running those. Maybe it was just something sporadic, you know. Anyway, that's where we are. That's the end of the week, man. Hopefully next week it brings, you know, something similar. If not, that's okay. You know, like I said, we're gonna try to venture being around the house more often. You know what I mean? Within shooting distance from the house, man. You know, I I've been around the house the past 3 weeks, and I tell you, it's just it's so much fun. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the end of the video. We're gonna end the video here. We are almost in Las Vegas. Guess what? We're gonna spend the day. It's 11 o'clock. Yeah. We're gonna be at the house around 12 o'clock, and then we're gonna spend the night at the house, and then leave tomorrow morning and get to Salt Lake. Easy, really easy. Even though we ran 2,000 miles, but like I said, we were home for most of those days, you know, and I love that, man. I hope it can continue, really. So anyway, we will see y'all in the next video.